In 1782, the United States was recognized by Great Britain as an independent country, and it sucked. Great Britain would not leave its forts in the Northwest Territory. Plus, by 1800, Great Britain was taking American sailors and making them join the British Navy because of Napoleon in Europe. Not to forget that they were supplying guns to the natives in the Midwest. All of this made the U.S. mad and put an embargo on France and Great Britain, and it crashed the United States economy. This led to the U.S. declaring war on Great Britain in 1812, and it sucked. All invasions failed, and since the British were done with Napoleon, they made a blockade of all American ports. But hey, we took control of Lake Erie. Around 1814, the British decided to burn down the White House in Washington, D.C. entirely. And then two tornadoes hit. Then the British sailed their fleet to Baltimore, where they planned to also burn down that city. But one thing stopped their assault: Fort McHenry on the Potomac River. The British sent a ground brigade on land to attack, which failed, and the fort prepared for the attack. Armistead, the leader of the fort, decided to put up a huge American flag to scare the British. Meanwhile, the bomb vessels and the rocket ship, it was a ship that shot rockets, not what you think, prepared to bombard the fort. When Armistead saw this fleet, he sunk a lot of merchant ships around the fort on the tiny island. Meanwhile, a lawyer named Francis Scott Key was trying to free Dr. William Beanes, a prisoner of war from the British. He ended up stuck on one of the ships until the bombardment was over. Soon the bombardment began, and the lawyer saw shells bursting in the air like fireworks. He prayed that the flag would be there in the morning, as a sign that the Americans had won. Meanwhile, the fort was not doing that well. Although the ships could not do any permanent damage to the fort, they got a few lucky shots. One shell blasted through the fort and landed in the gunpowder room. Luckily, it did not explode. At midnight, Contran, the leader of the British forces, ordered a small group of soldiers to land at the fort and divert American forces from shooting at the British ships. This gave them about an hour and a half of free time for the Brits, which they used horribly. By morning, Key woke up and saw the huge flag still there. The Brits let the lawyer and prisoners free. Around 700 shells were fired that night. The Brits also moved their fleet away towards New Orleans. Filled with patriotism, Key wrote out a poem. Then he put that poem to an English bar music, and it sounded great. The song wouldn't be popular until it was played at a baseball game in 1862, and it became super popular. On April 15th, 1929, President Herbert Hoover made it the national anthem. People would have their hands out like this until Hitler came along and stole our idea. Then they changed it. Ever since the song was like this. Ever since the song is the source of American patriotism.